of liberty and justice for all.
Oh, we love you, Casey. And of course, Casey and Little John always does a wonderful job at that. If you'd like your child to be a star for the day, 270-963-9155 is what that voicemail is. And I'll tell you, it could not be easier than that. And I love kicking off Coffee Talk that way. And it couldn't be more perfect, too, because I got my chick over here that really likes to do a lot of stuff with the youth. And you've opened it up to even more, which I'm so excited about. Of course, Farmers Bank's Tiffany Massey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Of course, and the reason I said this lady, I'm telling you, does more with these kids. And I'm so excited that it's time for the ambassadors again, because I think that I loved having them come in. It's a little selfish because I loved having them come in and tell us all about what they wanted to do and what they were proud of and what was their pet projects. And I got such a kick out of them coming in that, I'm ready for them to do it again.
Yes, I am too.
They just get so excited. They get the biggest smiles on their faces and you would think, oh, well, I bet they're shy. No.
Not at all.
Not one bit. And when you see them out in public or anything, I guarantee you're going to see them working at something or sitting behind a table taking tickets or doing something. And they're never just sitting there.
Yeah, they do a really great job at getting involved and coming up with awesome ideas. I love letting them come up with the ideas that they want to do, or that, whenever I look at the community and I see the needs of the community, it's completely different than what they see. And so I love to get their perspective and be able to do some of the things that they want to do, like the Big Springs project that we did last year. And I do think that there's more to be done there, and hopefully we can continue to help that out, plus do a little bit more with what the new ambassadors want to do.
I'm just excited that when you look at people, and especially, I think kids, maybe elementary age, I think they try to see things, to go and do. But teenagers, you always hear about the selfish teenagers. And I'm not experiencing that in our area for the most part. I'm seeing a lot of kids that really look for ways to serve the community. And these ambassadors, I'm telling you, these kids tear it up. And that's what I love seeing is the forethought that they put into everything and where the vision that they have for where they not only grew up, but where they want to stay.
Yes. They all have such different visions, too. And I was very fortunate this past year to have a group of ambassadors that have such different personalities. And that's what I'm looking for this year, too, because whenever you have those different personalities, it just all seems to come together and mesh so well. And I'm just looking forward to it so much.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that when you've got a group of kids that have, can look at things and say, you know what, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. This is what I want things to look like later on. Now let's figure out how to get it. And that's where Miss Tiffany comes in, because she says, you know what, you got a vision? Well, let's go, girl. Let's figure it out. Yeah. And that's what you've always been so good, at doing with the kids is really kind of relating to them and, really kind of digging in and saying, okay, let's see how that we can help you realize what you want to do.
Yes. And whenever they came up with the Big Springs project, I knew we had to get CODA involved, and I want them to see that whenever you have a vision, you decide and figure out what all needs to go into it to execute it in the best way possible. And that's what we did. We got with CODA. We came up with a really good game plan. He got Public Works to come and help us out to get some of the trees and limbs and stuff that we cut down out of there. And we all just collaborated and worked very well together. And they did a really awesome job at cleaning up the park.
I'm going to start writing it down, because I want to write a list and say, okay, now I bet this one's going to be on city council at some point. Because you can just see it when they come in. You can kind of see which direction. And I have seen some city officials. Taekwon, he's going to be mayor one day. CODA, he's coming for your job. I'm just telling you, that kid is on fire right now. And if he keeps that up, that's, I think that's a great goal. That's not a lofty goal. That's a reasonable goal for him.
Yes.
And I think that's with the rest of the kids too. I see city council members, I see school board members, and that's I think a really good goal for them is to see how they can shape it later on.
Mm-hmm. And, looking at these two ladies next to me, Morgan McDaniels and Kendall Prowell, they both have completely different personalities, but they work so well together.
I might have seen Morgan in here before.
Kendall. Morgan
Kendall,
is
sorry.
so strong-willed, and she'll question everything that she does, but she does an amazing job. And then Kendall, she's wild and crazy, and she just likes to have fun. And it's just wonderful to see how they work together and how they come up with some really awesome ideas.
But I don't want to take anything away from them either, because they're creative, but they're awfully smart too. Because I've had some in here that want to ask questions that I can't answer.
Yes,
they like trivia too.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're really intelligent kids. Where are you all wanting to go to college? What's your dream? What's bounce it off the wall as big as it gets. What is the ultimate dream that you want to do?
My dream?
Well, yeah, hang on.
Hawaii. Because
Hang on.
but my reality is just Western.
Okay, hang on. Tell everybody who you are, because they don't know. Because
I'm Kendall Prowell, and my dream college is Hawaii.
Yes.
Yes.
And she's going to invite me over.
Mm-hmm. But Western, that's where I'll be going. And then Morgan.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
awesome, though. What a great school that is. I want to go to Hawaii, but I guess I'll settle for Western.
Western, yeah.
For Pete's sake. Western, that's not a bad thing.
I know.
And so
That's where my
what do you-
dad and my sister went to.
Well, what do you want to do when you're there?
Oh, that's a really tough question. Business? I don't know. Work with people. That's all I know right now.
Well, that's right there. I mean, really and truly. I mean, you talk about the world's your oyster. If that's what you want to do,
One of the first things that we did was do the DISC assessment on them and then match them up with a person within the bank to see like how their personalities matched up with that position. And Kendall got matched up with me because we have similar personalities. So
I can see that.
I did kind of expose her to the things that I did, and just marketing would be great for her, or even human resources. I think working with people, what she said, would be right up her alley.
Well, tell everybody what your name is and kind of what your interests are.
Well, I'm Morgan McDaniels, and honestly, I don't really know anything at the moment.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know where I want to go to college. Maybe Kentucky, maybe not Kentucky, maybe somewhere. Who even knows? Honestly.
Some of us bleed blue. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. And I think you might have some people around that that bleed
Yeah, my
blue as
sister
well.
went to Kentucky.
I'm just saying.
So, but I just might not even stay like in the state.
Well,
So-
though, when you look at things right now, how old are you both?
We'll be
17.
seniors, yeah.
So when you think about that, you're still puppies.
Yeah.
You've got time to change your mind 25 times. You've got time to, dig into a subject and go, you know what? That really did not seem it seemed a lot more fun before I started, jumping into it. So, I mean, you can change your direction at this point. That's kind of what it's all about, isn't it, Tiffany? Is
Yes.
kind of trying things out and seeing if the shoe fits.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do, is try to just get them meshed up with somebody in the bank that's going to help them out, to just be able to have a vision of what they do and, how they could see themselves in a position similar to that. But both of them, who were you matched up with?
Casey.
Casey McCoy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Casey is a loan processor, so they both have a C personality, so they're more analytical and detail-oriented, and you can definitely see that in the things that Morgan does, and she does a great job.
I didn't think about that, but you can. Y'all are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, it's a secret. I know Tiffany probably doesn't want me to tell you this, but we didn't all know what we wanted to do when we were juniors. And a lot of us that thought we knew what we wanted. Boy, has that changed
Yes.
over the years. I wanted to be, like an astronaut, and that didn't happen. I'm just saying.
Maybe it can still happen.
There's a lot bigger groups
Yeah.
of things that I don't want to do, that I know I don't want to do, than what I actually
Well,
want to
now
do.
that can be helpful too,
Yeah.
though. Just kind of taking things off the list and go, nope, don't want to do that. I mean,
Yes.
what you find what you're good at. And, when you find, your strengths and your weaknesses, I think weaknesses can be just as helpful sometimes as what you're good at. Now, do you play sports of any kind, or what are you involved in school?
Well, I play soccer and basketball.
I just play volleyball.
Oh, is that all?
Yes.
Yeah, that's hard too, lady.
If we had a dance team, I mean, I would probably join, but we did not get offered that, so it's just volleyball.
I'm telling you, I love her. Her and I, we kind of understand each other. That's why. But I think that's important is to do things with these kids. And you've opened it up with juniors this year.
Yeah, and see, we had 2 juniors this past year, so that Morgan and Kendall will both be an ambassador again this year as seniors. And so we're going to add 2 more juniors and then 8 seniors. So we're going to have 12 altogether. And so far, we've had quite a few apply for the program, and I put some different questions out there on, like, what does leadership mean to you? What would you like to see happen in the community? What are some community service projects? And it's just so uplifting to read those answers on what those, the students have said already. And we've got a really good group of kids that have applied so far. So I'm really looking forward to getting them selected and getting the year started.
Well, and at this point, then now they can look back and see what the former ambassadors did. And now they're starting to hear more and more about the ambassadors. Mm-hmm. So now I think this year maybe, that may help a little bit for kids to say, oh, wait a minute, I can and I would like to.
Yes. And one of the things, like, we had thought about just sticking with seniors, and we're like, no, the junior level, it's going to be really good to make sure that we have a couple that are represented from the junior class, because just like Morgan, she applied for GSP, and I do think that being a Farmers Bank ambassador and just being involved in the community, I don't know if that 100% helped her out, but I do think that it definitely looked good on her application. And what I want for this program is that we're helping these students, that we're giving them opportunities that they may not have otherwise, and that we're wanting them to go to GSP. We're wanting them to be involved and to succeed at the highest levels. So I'm doing everything that I can to help them out, and I hope that the juniors that are selected this year do the same.
Well, in this year, everything's just all over the map. It's like playing Yahtzee and shaking up the dice. And it's, everything is going to be different. And I'm afraid that some kids may struggle with it. But I think if they've got, a good support system like what we're talking about, there's also a lot of other opportunities this year that you might not have saw in years past that, you can take advantage of. So I think it's just kind of the way that the kids are going to look at it, and, just kind of how they go after it.
Yeah. And I think one thing, whenever I had posted on social media for the application at the beginning, I said, this year might look a little different, but that's what leadership is all about. It's about being able to adapt and to, roll with the punches, take them as they come, and figure out ways to still get the job done, even though it might look different.
Well, and you and I've talked about it before, is something that's kind of close to my heart, and I know it is with you. When we talk about depression and we talk about suicide and different things like that, I think when students are depressed and there's things going on and stress, it's infectious, and I hate to even use that word during a pandemic, I guess, but, a bad attitude is infectious. It really grows, and it, especially with teenagers, because they are so vulnerable and as far as grabbing onto somebody else's emotion.
Yes.
And, I think it's important to have somebody like ambassadors and to have, some of those kids that, can shake it up and say, no, we're not going to go in that direction. We're going to stay in a positive direction. And I think when you've got some people leading a parade like that, I think it's very powerful with kids.
Absolutely. And, positivity is infectious too. And so that's what I want these students to be expressing, is just all positivity. And they know how I am. So I'm always loving on them and just wanting them to be good people and trying to support them and root for them and do what I can. But it's easy to do with the students that I've worked with because they're so wonderful.
I think it's
Tiffany.
What are you looking forward to this year? I know it's going to be a lot different. So I'm not even going to say what are you not wanting to. No. What are we looking forward to this year? Is there something that you really kind of want to be your pet project that you're looking forward to working on, or?
Hopefully another FAM.
Most definitely.
The FAM program, that was so fun.
And what is that?
It's the Farmers Bank Ambassador Mentorship Program.
Yeah, and we got partnered with elementary schoolers, and we did like activities, like we had a Christmas party, and they got gifts and stuff, and we ate, and we played games, and it was really fun. They went to the bowling alley once, but I didn't get to go to that, and just lots of other fun stuff.
It's
Well,
like
that
a
can-
monthly thing.
Well, that
you
can
do
be a
things
lot to
once a
kids that
month.
age too.
It meant a lot to me too, to just see all the little kids. Like
Yeah.
it made my month every single time.
Well, they look up to you guys. You're the goal. At that point, I know you look at me like, what? No, but when you're an elementary school kid and you see these teenagers and they're doing well and they're going through the ambassador program that's the goal. One's playing volleyball, maybe one's playing basketball, and you look and say, well, not only academically are they doing well, wow, they look like they've got some friends, they're having fun, they're successful in school. That's the goal. So now you've become the goal. So congratulations. I don't want to put any pressure on
It's
you or
a little
anything.
weird to think about.
But no, it's true. And it's extraordinarily true. And I think that kids at that age, when they have somebody to look up to, will succeed a lot better.
Yeah. And I think just exposing them to the mentorship program, they see what an impact they can have on a child's life and the fact that they are role models. Sometimes you can just tell these students, like, you're a role model, do whatever, but whenever you put them together with the students, it's like you can totally see that not only the elementary school student gets a lot out of it, but the high schooler does too. And they are a true role model and somebody that these students look up to and look forward to seeing every month.
In other words, behave yourself. We're watching you. Our eyes are on you. No stress. She's like, yeah, I could care less. Come on. Bring it, woman. Thank you so much for bringing them in here, though, because I get such a kick out of seeing the kids and hearing about what they want to do and where they want to go and what their goals are. I get the biggest kick out of it because I like their answers.
Yeah.
That's when they still have things they're shooting for.
I can't wait to see what all they do as they grow older and become adults.
Well, I'll tell you got hooked up with a really great woman right there to help you out. And I promise you, she is obsessed with the ambassadors. And I think that it's a good, she might stalk you a little, but it's a good thing.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hey, I'll tell you, Farmers Bank is doing a lot for our youth in our area. So we sure do appreciate it, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Again, remind them, how do they get signed up? How does that whole thing work and who to call, I guess?
Right now on Facebook, the link is out there to apply. So it's a Google form and you just go out there and there are some questions that are asked, your name and everything, and just ways that we can contact you. But we are taking applications until Friday, August 14th. So we're hoping to get all the ambassadors selected by the end of the month. And we do plan on going through like an interview process because I think that it's important for students to be exposed to that. So we'll be getting those started after the 14th. We'll all get together. I've got a committee at the bank. We'll look over the applications and do some interviews and get them all selected.
Well, good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
Have fun this year.
Oh, we will.
We're going to be seeing more of them. So I'm now looking forward to. I'm going to save the audio and say, but what you said 2 months ago. So I hope really and honestly, I hope you have a good, positive start to the school year.
Me too.
Really and truly, because it's going to be different, but I think it could be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because look at that parade we had for the seniors.
That was so good.
That's what I'm saying.
at
It was
the beach.
different, right? So maybe this year will be different, but in a good way. How
Yeah.
about that? Stick around. We're going to hear more about Fredonia this morning because, we've got a really big special coming up on Saturday that we kind of surprised everybody with. So stick around. That's on Coffee Talk coming up. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to tell you about some other fun things that are going on in the area for the week, including we're going to talk about Fredonia Yard of the Month and all kinds of stuff. So stick around. 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Get ready for back to school with Health First Community Health Center. offering immunizations, physicals, ADHD treatment, and sick child visits. At Health First, we offer affordable quality health care for the entire family. Call us to make your appointment today at 877-667-7017. That's 1-877-667-7017. Walk-ins are welcome. All children receiving back-to-school services will be entered to win a backpack full of school supplies. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
The Body Shop at Trice Hughes is open for business and will assist you in getting your vehicle back on the road. Trice knows your vehicle is one of the most important things you own. It's important it's fixed right and as quickly as possible. Call for an appointment or free estimate at 270-365-5522.
Trice Hughes is here for you and any questions you may have about your vehicle. Buy your next vehicle from the home team. Find them on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or at tricehughes.com.
This is Sam Meeks with Bella Marie Boutique. Thank you for voting Bella Marie as the best of Western Kentucky boutique 3 years in a row. We are so appreciative of our loyal customers. None of this would be possible without you all.
Beach Bend Park is now open daily for the summer and glad to welcome you back with new safety guidelines. Save big on summer fun with a half-season pass for just $49.99, including a Bring a Friend ticket and loads of discounts. Buy one-day admission tickets online for $29.99 with promo code FUN. Enjoy classic amusement rides, daily shows, mini golf, water park, and more. Parking tubes and sunscreen are always free. Visit beachbend.com to purchase tickets and half-season passes.
Local businesses have supported us in every regard. Now it's our turn to support them. Here's a way you can help.
This is Beth Mann, President and CEO of the Edge Media Group. In times like these, it's good to know your local business person. The company that fed first responders, the shop that donated goods, the store that served as a drop-off location. Local businesses are the backbone of the community. As we flatten the curve and rebuild, we need you to support local life. Keep our local economy strong with our local businesses. Here today, here tomorrow, we're in this together. Support local.
The Edge Media Group encourages you to support local. Be sure to post what you're doing to show your support. #SupportLocal.
A message from Carrington Services.
I am Kentucky Colonel William Carrington. I am a Christian motivational speaker and author. As we start to see our great country reopening and local businesses starting back up, we can feel the sense of pride knowing we can move forward. During this time of chaos and pandemics, we, the citizens, will not lay down. We will fight our way back. I am asking everyone to do your part. Support local. Together we will get through this. Princeton proud.
At First Southern National Bank, we place a high value on the well-being of our customers and communities. With that in mind, we are taking steps that demonstrate how much we care about you. Our drive-through lanes will be available for daily needs, while in-person services can be scheduled by appointment. Take advantage of our online banking, our mobile banking app, and a friendly team member answering your call. Visit fsnb.net to learn more. First Southern National Bank, member FDIC.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. And of course, I'll tell you, we've had a ball this week, if nothing else, just with the kids in the ambassador program. And I've had so much fun because this week, and I know everybody doesn't know about it. I started to say, I don't think everybody knows. I know nobody knows about it. Well, I know there's a handful of people because I've been telling them, oh, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And this morning, I finally got the okay. The boss said, that's okay. Tell everybody about it so that we can all have a lot of fun and nobody misses out on it. Well, this weekend, we're doing something that I'm so excited about. And, of course, normally we kind of miss out this year because normally we would have a big Fredonia festival, a big heritage festival about this time every year. And it's so much fun, and everybody gets together. And last year, when everybody was coming in and we were talking about getting ready to do it, the two words that I heard over and over and over, no matter who come in the door, was heritage and homecoming. And those are the two words that kept coming up over and over and over. It's like a homecoming. It's heritage. It's like a homecoming. And so that's what we're doing, except we're going to do a virtual version of it. And we're going to have stories from people that you haven't heard from in a while. There's going to be stories that are kind of funny and probably some you haven't heard before. But then there's also going to be some of that heritage mixed in there, too. We're going to talk about Fredonia School. We're going to have so much in that jam-packed hour that you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be pretty special. And I am over the moon excited about it. And I think I drove everybody nuts for the last couple of weeks trying to get planned for it. But I'll tell you, I've got a lady on the phone this morning that if you're going to talk about heritage, you're going to talk about Fredonia, you got to talk about Miss Bennett this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tess.
How are you?
Well, I'm good this morning. It's a little foggy and a little cloudy here in the valley, but we're doing great.
Miss Bennett, can you tell everybody what your name is and kind of what you do there at Fredonia?
Well, I'm Linda Baker Bennett. I'm married to Albert Bennett, and Albert is a magistrate in the county over Fredonia in District 1. I grew up here, and I still volunteer. I taught school for about 30 years, and then I have gotten involved in the Heritage Society, which we're excited about a new project there with the Veterans Memorial. And I've been a Lion in the Lions Club for many years, and I'm secretary-treasurer there. I do want to say, Tess, we're very sorry and sad that we did have to cancel this festival this year. You know, it's the first time we won't have a festival in 56 years.
It began something.
In 1964 was the first festival. And, of course, we farm, so we stay busy, and I work on the cemetery committee a little bit, and that group of men are wonderful. I'm not able to do the hard work that they do cleaning these old cemeteries, but anyway, I just stay busy.
Well,
I
think Albert probably keeps you busy, just keeping him, from getting in trouble, right?
Well, I don't even try to do that anymore.
I'll tell you, those farmers, there's something else. They're going to find something to get into one way or the other, aren't they?
They do, but Tess, they do a lot of good for our communities and come together when someone needs help, and that's very important. And I'm just thankful to live in a rural community.
Well, we hear a lot about, we pick on our politicians some, and we hear about our magistrates. What's it like to be married to a magistrate or a city official or a county official?
Well, Albert pretty much takes care of his part. Now, he's also on the CACO board. He was president of the state Magistrates Association last year, and he's past president this year, and he makes a lot of trips to Frankfurt. But, of course, he's on fiscal court here in the county, and there's always some project or things going on, and people used to think it's just taking care of the roads, but, our fiscal court manages the money for the county, and that's a big responsibility, and how it's spent and where it goes and things like that.
Well, I'll tell you, you've kind of come from a line of people that, were pretty instrumental in the county and really did a lot. Of course, your mom was very much a part of the county.
Well, she was raised here and always lived here, and she tried to help people when she could, and she knew a lot of people. She was a historian of Fredonia, and she wrote a page each month in the county paper for years, and I've got all of those. I was looking through those yesterday, and it was just something she loved to do, was to write and tell stories. And I love stories, too. Don't we all love a good story?
Oh, I love it. Do you have any favorite memories or a story she might have told back in the day that might be one of your favorites?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was always proud that Fredonia provided a school. Back in 1911, the community decided it was time for a high school, not just a common school. And so my grandfather and a lot of other people in the town just got together and went out and gathered up money to build our high school, which was the big 2-story brick building here in town. And she was always concerned about our schools, and she was very involved in the schools with coming to class and doing parties and 4-H and taking kids on trips and things like that. And when I started first grade, I had my appendix out and was in the hospital, and I caught chicken pox while I was there, and I was out of school a good while, and she worried about that. So she was going to ask Miss Kitty, our teacher, if she could drive me up to the window at school, and the kids just come over and wave at me, you know. And so she did, and I remember that so well. We had a little 1958 Buick station wagon, black and white. And Larry York was in our class at that time, and Miss Kitty asked all the students to bring a quarter, and they were going to buy me something since I was in the hospital. And Larry was really excited about that. And Larry's still a friend of ours, and he lives at Bright Life Farms now, but he comes to Fredonia and works at Fabian's once a week. So we get to see Larry. But back to the story, he was telling the men downtown, sitting around talking, that the class was going to get me a present. And someone said, well, Larry, what do you think they're going to get, Linda? And he said, I think we're getting her a shotgun. Well, if you know Larry, you know that's what he thought about, and loves guns and sheriffing and things like that. So she always told that story.
Well, I'll tell you, I think. What do you think made it a passion of yours as well? Because if it was, if it's something that your mom really loved, and then now you seem to have that same, kind of passion for it as well. What do you think the similarity is that keeps drawing you back?
I think it's the people and caring for people. We don't think about diversity or inclusion or racism. That wasn't in our vocabulary. And it's just, it was a small community where everyone worked together and played together and took care of each other, really. Casey Baker came up with the best slogan, a small valley with a big heart.
I've heard that a couple of times. I think everybody really, kind of agrees with that.
I think so, too. And there's just a lot of things I thought about talking about this morning. I was trying to think of some things that maybe someone hadn't mentioned. But one thing I would like to say is since we're not having our festival, that's our Lions Club big fundraiser for the year. That's our money-making event. And so we're just, thinking of things we could do before the end of the year to raise some money. We buy eyeglasses and provide eye exams and for our county and surrounding areas. So we've got to raise some money. So one thing that's been brought up is maybe around Thanksgiving, smoking some turkeys to sell instead of our barbecue. So if I'd like just to get the feel of the community, if you think that's something that you would like, let one of the Lions members know. And then maybe, in the next month or so at our meeting, we can plan that.
Oh, I think that sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just an idea that was tossed out. So we're trying to come up with things. And, of course, I lived on Cassidy Avenue, right, which is really the main part of town, and grew up there. Of course, there was, I was thinking about the businesses at that time. Tally's Grocery always had a lot of good things for people to come into town to buy and well-stocked. And there was a watch repair man, Mr. Brooks. He was next door. And then Psycho Katermas had his little store, and he sold the Courier-Journal newspaper. And he really got awards for that. He was young, and he got to go to St. Louis to ball games and Chicago to ball games because he was one of their best salesmen as far as getting the newspaper out, and he would take it to everyone's door. And
well, that was a lot, too, because a lot of people didn't travel back then.
That's true. And Mr. Brooks had in his repair shop, he also did Whamasham laundry and dry cleaning. and my mother helped him. She would take a load of laundry to Princeton once a week to have it cleaned and dry cleaned. And he was from Marion, but he had his repair shop here, and he also took laundry to Marion, and that was a little bit different. And way down at the very end of the street, which the building is still there, was the Kraft Cheese Factory, and people brought in their milk from the farms, and cheese was made here in Fredonia and shipped to Wisconsin. And it was a big plant. The Adams family, brothers, Rex and John, and their families managed that business. And I remember Ellis Vinson worked there, and Floyd Wynn, and Bubby Tabor. I didn't know John Van Hoosier, but he also worked there. Of course, Young Implement was on the other side of the street, and it just recently closed last year. Been there for years and years with lots of farm equipment and things that farmers needed. Joe Morgan was a mechanic, and he lived next to the old post office, and he could fix most anything. Really, he was a genius. He could go out in the field. If a farmer was broke down and needed him, he would go and have them up and running in no time. And he just enjoyed mechanics and repairing and machinery.
Well, what was it like to be a Yellow Jacket and go to a basketball game?
Oh, well, that was great. You know, we had so much fun at those games, and we would just be packed in that gym, just barely enough room to move, you know, and always walk in and smell that popcorn popping. And it's just memories that you will never forget.
Do you remember any of the cheers from back then that that was Yellow Jackets specific?
Let's see. Oh, gosh, there were so many. I should be able to, but I'm sure people right now are giving me some ideas.
Oh, no, I put you on the spot. I shouldn't have done that, but I it just kind of hit me. I wonder, because it's been so many years since anybody has done those cheers or anything. I just thought that would. I've got another Fredonian in the studio here that's kind of. Do you remember any? No, she doesn't. She can't help you out. I've got Caitlin Conway in here with me. She's waiting in the wings over here, but she can't.
She's too young.
Oh, I know. She can't remember any of them either. So I was going to see if she could help you out, but she said no, she can't.
What about this? JACKETS. Yes, our jackets are the best.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there. I think that's so neat, though, because every once in a while I see somebody bring out a T-shirt or a shirt or something with that old logo on it. And now that was a scary logo when you saw it on the other end of the court.
Pretty bright with that. It first was orange and black, and I've got a sweater that has the orange F on it. But then they changed to yellow or gold and black for the colors. So that was kind of interesting. Why they changed, I don't know. That'd be a good question. But
I bet Mike Vinson knows somewhere. That guy knows all of the history. I'm telling you, he is a buff when it comes to being able to know little tidbits about the school.
Oh, well, he probably has a great memory, yes.
I'll tell you, I'll give you a sneak peek of this special for this weekend, Mrs. Bennett. Of course, we have, and I can't call her by her first name because her daughter and I played basketball together, and I still can't get past that. So it's Mrs. Bennett to me. I mean, and that's the way it's been since I was a kid. But,
you just call me Linda.
I know, but I can't. My mother would have a problem with that if I...
I don't. Just call me Linda. Now, you went to school with my daughter, right?
Yes, with Miss Molly. But, of course, when you think... He said that he knows the name of the last middle schooler that graduated there, kindergartner, and senior. So all of that is going to be on this special on Saturday. So it's going to be kind of cool. I think it's going to have a little bit of everything.
That sounds great. Now, my teachers were Miss Kitty, Miss Katie, Miss Vera Drennan, Miss Lucille McNeely, Miss Eileen Guest, Mr. Roy Anderson, Miss Dimple Stewart, Miss Georgia Franklin, and then I went into high school. And as far as I know, the ones that are still with us are Bob Morris, Mr. Dale Flan, of course, taught everything, and I always enjoyed Dale's classes. Mr. Dennis Cox, he was our homeroom teacher when I was a senior. And Mr. Odell Walker was our principal, and Odell is in his 90s now. He lives in Lyon County. So I thought that was interesting.
Now, you said Lucille McNeely. Now, I actually made it through her class. How about that?
Well, let me tell you what she did. She taught 4th grade here, and then the next year after I had her, she moved to Princeton to teach 5th grade. And Tony Watson, our county clerk, lived at Farmersville, and Tony could catch either bus. She could catch a bus and come to Fredonia, or she could catch a bus and go to Princeton. And so she loved Miss McNeely like we all did. She was a great teacher. So Tony just decided she wanted her again. So she left us and went to Princeton to school that year.
Oh, well, Tony Watson, you little cheat, you. Look at that. I don't blame her, because Miss Lucille was amazing.
She was, and very creative, and always had us hands-on. You know, we made Indian villages, and just out of clay. It was just amazing.
And she definitely made learning fun. That's the goal, I guess, when you're a teacher of that age, kids. And she definitely had a way of doing that.
She sure did, and just, I guess, ahead of her time, really.
Oh, what about this Veterans Memorial? I don't want to let you go till I talk to you about it.
Well, I'm on the committee. Really, I think Brother Presley Lamb and maybe Todd Phelps are doing a lot of the hard work on getting this thing drawn out, and it's going to be wonderful. The Heritage Society is sponsoring this, and Brenda Fralix is the one that first mentioned that we need a Veterans Memorial in our town. And after that, it just took off. And it's, we're not just thinking our veterans, we're thinking our service people, our policemen, our rescue people, our emergency people. So I think when it's completed, it's going to be wonderful. We will be selling bricks, and I think we already are. I do not have a form here in front of me, but you can have a veteran's name put on the brick. You can have, where they served, what branch of the service they were in, the years they served, whatever you want on your brick. I think the bricks are going to be $50, and they will be laid out as a walkway to the memorial or monument. So I hope everyone that's listening will think about that. And it could be someone serving now. It could be someone that has served our country in the past. And it's just it'll be a great way to remember those that have made our country free.
What do you think your mom, as your mom being a historian, and now you're kind of a historian, what do you think your mom would have thought of this Veterans Memorial? Would she have been excited about that?
Oh, yes, she would have. She would be right in the middle of it, and she would be asking questions and selling those bricks. Yeah, she would.
Well, bless your heart. Thank you so much for calling this morning and being a part of it and sharing your memories and some of your stories. And I got a feeling there's a bunch more in there for next time, too.
Okay. Well, I'll try. And I want to just say thanks to Pam Fawn for the work on our history book. If there's anyone out there that doesn't have the history of the Fredonia Valley history book, please see Pam and get one, because it's something you'll treasure. And Pam put a lot of hours of work into this book, as the committee did, but she edited it and did all of the putting together and really, time-consuming work in it. So I just want to say a shout-out to Pam.
Before I let you go, too, I'm asking everybody, what does Fredonia mean to you?
It means family and comfort. And aren't we glad we're here?
I love that. Short and sweet and simple family, and aren't we glad we're here and home and comfort? I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. I sure do appreciate it so much. You have a great day.
You too, Tess. Thanks
I'm going to try to pick this brain of this young lady over here and and see what the young side of Fredonia has to say this morning.
Well, they have a lot to say, and we're thankful they're here.
She is taking She's taking nominations for the Fredonia Yard of the Month, so you better get your garden gloves out.
Oh, well, I need to. I need to pull some weeds, that's for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Of course, Miss Linda Bennett, and we love her to death, and she has been a lady that I think it's a lot of people have looked up to her and Elbert in the area for many, 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 many years, and she is a very she's one of those ladies that always is there to help out and get in the middle of it and say, what can I do for you? So, but I think Fredonia is full of them, and here's another one over to my left, Miss Caitlin Conway. How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm
good. I've been seeing your name stuck all over things. Now, is that Michelle Vincent sticking your name all over everything? Are you allowing her to do that? I know she's yelling at me right now. That's why I think it's funny. Turn that mic towards you, sweetheart. There you go. But of course, you have the opportunity. That's what I'll say it that way, to be the taker of all the nominations for the Yard of the Month every month, right?
Yes.
How in the world did you get roped into that? That's what I'm... How did they talk you in? Did you know you were signing up to do that?
Well, we had tried to decide how we were going to take in the nominations, and we thought that it would be best if they just sent them to me, since I'm the secretary. So then it would be easier, and then after we let people nominate up until the 10th, and then I send everyone that's nominated to the group, to the Fredonia Activities Committee, and we just kind of decide from there.
I'm going to tell you what, and I tell Michelle this a lot, but since she's not here, I can talk about her and she can't take up for herself. That's a fantastic thing right there. No, I love her to death, but I think the Fredonia's Activities Committee has just really hit it out of the park in the last, couple of years, really coming up with, things to kind of come up with something new, something exciting. And I was probably the most sad I've been in a while that we canceled our neon egg hunt, because I was all over that.
Yeah, we were really excited about that.
That was going to be fun. So I'm hoping that you hang on to that for this year. But of course, with, certain things being canceled, what do you look for? I mean, I am really interested in the different, generations and how you see Fredonia and how, what it means to you. So what do you look forward to, like with the Heritage Festival every year?
I don't really know. It's just nice seeing everybody come out together. And you asked what Fredonia means to me. And like Linda said, it is a small town with a big heart. And everybody just comes together, and neighbors help neighbors. And you pretty much know everybody when you live in Fredonia.
Well, and I think that's, a lot of it, everybody knows everybody. No, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it can be.
Well, don't get me wrong. There's the Mayberry side of things, but I love that part of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you look around the world right now, I think a lot of different places in the world are wishing, and are jealous that, you have something there that they don't have in other areas.
Right.
For one thing, you've got heritage too.
Yes.
You can really look back and find some interesting tidbits. A lot of those interesting characters still live there.
Yes.
So how'd you end up on the activities committee?
I think it was, I don't think it was last year, maybe the year before. No, it was last year, I believe. Michelle had just got in contact with me and asked me if I would be interested, because she wanted, she asked me and JC, because we're the same age, just wanted somebody younger, to be able to help out and just, help plan things for the community. And I thought that would be a good way to help out.
What's it like growing up in Fredonia now? I mean, I'm hearing a lot about what, like at the old Fredonia school and that sort of thing. But you're the different generation. You didn't go to school in Fredonia, but you went to school, in Caldwell.
Yeah.
So what is it like growing up in Fredonia now for the kids that are there?
Well, I've lived in Fredonia my whole life, so nearly 20 years. And you were talking about, like, the festival. I remember just loving the festival when I was a little girl, just being able to run around and get on the rides and everything. It was just so much fun, and I am sad that we can't have one this year due to all of this.
Well, I said nobody knows how to throw a party like Fredonia, and I'd stick by that because I'll tell you, between home, and again, that's the word I hear so much is homecoming, and it's like everybody gets together. It's like coming home, and there's a lot of people that come in from out of town to come home to it.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people, and there are so many people that come from like all over the community, Princeton, Trigg County, Eddyville, and that was like for the Thunder in the Valley. We weren't sure how the crowd was going to be this year because of all of this going on, but we had a really good crowd, and I mean, people just come from everywhere.
Has there ever been anything that Fredonia didn't come out and support that was in Fredonia? It is a very supportive community, though, and that's one of the things. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Hashtag goals. That's the goal. You hope that the people in your community, come out and support what's going on, and they seem to continue to do that year after year after year.
Right.
So the Fredonia Yard of the Month you've had now, it started in what, June? Was it May or June?
May.
Okay.
May was our first month. We had planned to start it, I think, a little bit earlier, but then the coronavirus hit, so we just kind of delayed it a little bit.
But it's been kind of fun. I will say it's
really fun.
Been neat. Do you know all the different names?
Yes. For May, the winners were Beth and Ronnie Drennan. June, Bill Barnes, and this past month, July, was Miss Angela Blair.
And I heard all of those winners there, they had been, this is nothing new. They'd been doing that before there was a prize for doing that.
Yeah, they take really good care of their yards.
I think that's cool. So did you get a bunch of nominations every month? Everybody gets involved? Or are we looking for some more for August?
Well, for May, I didn't get a whole lot of nominations, but I think people were still trying to get get the gist of everything and figure everything out. But then Ronnie and Beth got nominated, and we decided their yard looked the best. But then June, I got a lot of nominations, so that was probably the best month so far. And I've not got a lot so far this month, but I mean, there's still time.
Well, let's make sure that you get a hold. I want your inbox just covered up. Tell them how to get a hold of you.
You can contact me through Facebook Messenger, or if you have my phone number, you can just send me a message and just tell me who you think has the best yard for the month.
Well, and they do have to live in the city limits of Fredonia, correct? That's the only.
That's right.
That's the only thing.
Right. Yes, you have to live in the city limits.
All right. Well, thank you. And you all go out and you're going to tell them by the 15th, right?
Yes, we try to kind of get together to see who, as long as our work schedules go together, who can. We try to all go and present the yard of the month to that person for the month. Sometimes some people can't make it, but we try to all 6 go together.
Hey, schedules being what they are, if you can even get it 50% of the time, you're doing good. You try the best you can. And as long as they get told and said congratulations, you're doing good these days. I'll tell you, we do say 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton. And, of course, Caitlin Conway's with us this morning on Coffee Talk, talking about the Fredonia Yard of the Month. And we appreciate you being here.
Thank you for asking me to come.
Of course, again, it's going to be by the 15th of the month, right?
Yes, that's when we'll decide as a committee, and then we'll go and present it to that person, and then we'll post it on Facebook.
I'm going to tell you what, Saturday is like the big hoo-ha for Fredonia, and I don't know if anybody knows about it or yet, but we've created a day, evidently, that's just going to be insane. So Fredonia, of course, you've got about the 15th, you need the Yard of the Month, and then we've also got the speed show coming up at the Fredonia Valley Riding Club this weekend, and then, of course, we've got our big special that we're doing all about Fredonia and Fredonia heritage and the folks that live there and little stories and tidbits. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be at noon on Saturday. So everything evidently is going to be, this was the date that you had the Heritage Festival last year, was this coming Saturday. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we'll just keep continuing that. How about that? So come on back and see us tomorrow. Of course, we've got more to do with Fredonia. We're got a couple of more surprises that kind of in the works, including Miss Maggie Gammon, who I adore, and her cats at the Cat's Tail downtown Princeton. We're going to talk to them. Of course, the Extension Office, and I've heard that there's things that are worse in this world than killer bees. We're going to talk to We're going to talk to the extension office tomorrow. So we've got a lot in store, so come on back. Again, Miss Caitlin Conway says get your Fredonia Valley Yard of the Month nominations. That's got to be in by the 15th, and that's right around the corner. So stick around for that. And, of course, Audrey Lamb's got your news, and Todd's got your sports from 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Community leaders around the area are supporting the greatest comeback of all time.
So this greatest comeback ever has really helped. I think it's worked. I think it's done exactly